If we want to peace or a social welfare, so that we have to go under the non-violence and truth and goodness of human beings. What is India, or what is the development of India? So that is only indicated by development of rural sectors, not development of urban areas. Instead of exporting from other countries, we could producing more items what we have imported from other countries. Namaste my dear students, I am Shubha Hebbar, Faculty of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Dear students, warm welcome to this session. Yes, we have discussed about the fourth chapter of second unit, Economic Policies of India. In the previous session, we have discussed about planning and what are the different objectives of planning and mixed economy, features of mixed economy and problems of mixed economy, and also we have discussed about the Bombay Plan. Yes, in this session, we are going to discuss about Gandhian model and Nehru and Mahalanobis model and what are the achievements of economic planning and failures of economic planning. Once again, welcome to the session. Just start with content. Yes, what are the different contents we are going to discuss here? Gandhian model and what are the different values of Gandhian model and different principles. Yes, that thought focusing on improve the rural sectors. And yes, Nehru and Mahalanobis models, regarding industrial development of our country. And during the period of second 5-year plan, just they have started to implement the models. And next one, achievements of economic planning and failures of economic plannings. Yes, let us discuss one by one. Gandhian model, one of the important model which is considered as a milestone in rural development. Yes, that Mohandas Karamchandra Gandhi, who is called father of our nation, yes, just he focused on rural development of our country. The real development of our country, which is indicated by only rural development, not industrialization and not urban sector development. Because of that, rural sector and agriculture sector considered as a backbone of our country, and he knew the values, he knew the real situations of our country. That is why he has focused on that rural sector development, and purely he believed in the truth and non-violence and goodness of human beings. Yes, the particular period, that is 1893 to 1948. So that is Gandhian period, and of course after his graduation he focused on to development of our country. Yes, how it is, he led the people with his certain principles, that is non-violence and truth, and also just he believed in that goodness of human beings. Yes, dear students, just Mahatma Gandhi's approaches to India's rural development was holistic and people-centered. And of course, he played the leading role in securing for India for the political independence from British through that organizing and mobilizing the Indian people from all walks of life in a peaceful and non-violent manner. And purely he believed that violence which led to blood and non-violence which led to peace of the society. If we want to peace or a social welfare, so that we have to go under the non-violence and truth and goodness of human beings. Yes, that social welfare, it is possible by what he has believed in that particular principle, so that is truth, non-violence and goodness. Yes, dear students, by his own way, he focused on rural development by different his principles. Yes, he focused on different values. So what are the different values of his model? Yes, first one, that is rural India is found not in cities. What is India, or what is the development of India? So that is only indicated by development of rural sectors, not development of urban areas, and even not including by industrializations. And of course, just exploitations of villages by city dwellers, it is considered as violence, because of should not distract the rural people by selfishness of urban peoples. Yeah, that is the main thing he has focused. And next one, that's simple living and high thinking. And this simple living, which is not required the collections of money, which is not required palace, which is not required that richest clothes, so only required that basic things which are very essential to lead the life. And Gandhiji also has lived in the same manner, and he is a model to every Indian people. Already we have agreed that. Yes, that is dignity of labor. What is dignity of labor? Every laborer can produce for himself, and yes, of course, just he can work for his bread. This is the main thing which tells about self-sufficient. And how it is? Yes, just it is everybody can work for their subsistence level. So that is the main reason which tells about self-sufficient. And next, another one important values performance to use of Swadeshi products, that our domestic products. Instead of using that foreign products, if we are purchasing Swadeshi products or our domestic products, which helps to increase the per capita income of our country. Yes, if we can use our own products, which leads to remove the dependency on others for our products or our essentials. So this is the different values which have focused by Mohandas Karamchandra Gandhiji. That is why, yes, he played a major role to lead the people of our country, and yes, of course, he is a father of nation yesterday, today, even tomorrow. What are the different principal components of the models? He has suggested the different principles with his model. So that is, one is self-sufficient village economy. What do you mean by self-sufficient village economy? Which tells about independent life. Dependency which brings exploitation, which means that is essence of violence. That self-sufficiency, and it is considered as that independent life. How it is? Yes, we have to work with our own essentials, which means that a village should be self-sufficient. Yes, then we can produce that food, cloth, shelter and essential items and by their own work. And of course, which is indicated independence. And one more thing he has suggested, that is we have to control the fragmentations of land. Fragmentations of land. Yes, so this self-sufficient village economy tells about that self-sufficiency of village people and also that independent life, that is dependency which brings the exploitation, which considered as essence of violence, and of course, and we could produce all the essential items, food, cloth, what we want, that could be produced by ourselves only. Yes, that is considered as self-sufficient village economy. And the next one, that is decentralization. Decentralization about the division of power, that economic and political power of villages. Yes, that particularly all the economic and political power which are centralized by village people only. Because of it is easy to maintain the village system instead of waiting for central and state government intervention, just taking care of themselves by that is Panchayat Raj system. The Panchayati system which had decision making power on that particular village, that economic power and social power. Particularly, it belongs to that to maintain the social welfare among the rural people. And it would look after about education, health, sanitation, particularly tells about that is infrastructure facilities. infrastructure facilities. Yes, provisions of clean drinking water, that is education system, improving the health facilities, which majorly belongs to that panchayati system of that particular villages. Yes, next Panchayati Raj. Already as I told, it is done through decentralizations of power. According to Panchayati Raj system, India would be republic. And the thought about simple living and high thinking. And principle of Panchayati Raj focused on improving the agriculture sector and improving the agriculture industries also as well as small scale industries. And that decentralization and Panchayati Raj which functioned in the same manner, and if there is any conflict among the village people, and it also is possible to solve by that Panchayati system only. So this is the main thing which comprised by these two principles. And next one, khadi and village industries. Gandhiji personally, he had been using the spinning wheel for producing his clothes. Yes, and of course, he taught to all, which tells about self-sufficient, and which made the rural people would be self-sufficient by producing their clothes. And of course, so which provide the employment opportunities. Employment opportunities, particularly female section of rural people. And next one, that is cooperatives. Yes, cooperative, which belongs to that financial assistance, and also as well as it is one of the major instrument of rural development. Major instrument of rural development, and it was focusing on promotion of cooperative farmings. And just he has introduced, there are four types of cooperatives. So one is credit cooperatives, which providing the financial assistance to agriculture functions and small scale industries. And second one, waiver cooperatives. And next one, spinner cooperatives and dairy cooperatives. So these four cooperatives play a major role for providing the financial assistance to agriculture system. And next one, trusteeship. During the independence period, landlords or zamindars were treating the people very roughly, and by forcibly just they have collected all the taxes or revenues by the farmers, and this was led a farmers to debt in trap. And of course that this is the major contribution to agriculture backwardness and that backwardness of rural system of our country. By considerations of these are all problems, just Gandhiji has discussed about trusteeship. And according to him, landlord is nothing but a trustee. Just he is a responsible person of particular land. He should not force or he should not treat roughly to others. Then instead of rough treating, just go with the cooperative manner. And this is the main thing, how the God will treat all, and the same landlords treat all are equal. And next one, that village sanitation tells about the cleanness system of village. Cow dung and dirtiness of that village waters, there was improper drainage system which create the stench in that particular rural area, so which tells about the backwardness of rural system. By considered, so these are all problems which have to remove, and it is definitely one of the important steps improve the rural sector, that is village sanitations. provisions of clean drinking water and toilet facilities, and also better drainage system. So these are all the functions which is carried out by Panchayati Raj system. And the last one, that removal of untouchability. So this is one of the important component of this principle, how it is, that is everyone would be equal in the society. There is no untouchables. So there is no mass gap between different classes of people. This is the major thing. And of course, the practice of untouchable, which creates conflict among the different classes of people in the society. But what is the real goal of our state? What is the real goal of our nation? Yes, of course, that peaceful and welfare of the society is the main goal. And yes, if it is existence of practice of untouchability, yes, of course, which could be create a longer gap between different classes of people. The divisions of people on the basis of class, religion and rituals. So it is really very bad. That's why that considered of these are all problems, and Gandhiji focusing on removing of that untouchable practices in the society. So these are all different principal components which tells about Gandhian model. Dear students, how he has performed, how he tried to build the nation with the real problems. Yes, that concentrations of development of agriculture sector, yes, of course, definitely resulted to developing of nation. But what is the real situation? Gandhiji wanted to travel India to east side, but we are all moving to west side. So this is the real situations. What did he want? Yes, he want equality. What did he wish? Yes, he wished that self-reliance. And of course, it is not possible to achieving the self-sufficient system in the rural sector, and it is not possible to improving the agriculture system also. That is showing the result at low contribution to GDP by agriculture sectors. Yes, these are all tells about that Gandhian model. Yes, that is what are the different values and what are the principal components of this model are very important. Next go to that another one important model, Nehru and Mahalanobis model. After focusing the agriculture sector, next another one industrial sector who were contributing to more to industrial sector development. Jawaharlal Nehru and Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis had contributed with remarkable stone. During the second 5-year plan, which means 1955 to 60 durations, so in this duration, already we have taken the decision about mixed economic system and focusing on different sectors to improve the particular sectors. Yes, the first 5-year plan focusing on improving the agriculture sector, and second 5-year plan just try to improving the industrializations. Just try to introduce the industrializations by rapid establishment of industries. The major architecture of this plan one is Jawaharlal Nehru and Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis. Yes, the model was created as an analytical framework for India's second 5-year plan in 1955 by appointment of Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, and the strategy of development was implemented for the first time by second 5-year plan. Yes, improving the cottage industries and small scale industries and producing the import substitute items. And we have adopted the 5-year plan with the certain goals. So that is self-sufficient and equity, modernizations. So these are all tells about to improve the economic system of our country. And self-sufficient, how we have to reach the self-sufficient? Yes, of course, import substitute items. Instead of exporting from other countries, we could producing the more items what we have imported from other countries. Yes, just establishment of so many industries and protective barriers against the foreign competition, which helps to circulations of domestic products. So this particular model focusing on different values, that is producing of import substitution goods, import substitute goods, and that is role of public sectors. Yes, decision regarding role of public sector. It explained about what is the real role of public sector to improve the industrial sectors. Yes, of course, that atomic energy and railway transport which are reserved for public sectors, and just establishment of small scale industries, or that development of small scale industries and cottage industries. Development of small scale industries and cottage industries, which helps to promote the productions and also as well as which can create the employment opportunities for the Indian people, and which helps to improve the economic status of our country. Particularly Mahalanobis model, which tells about establishment of heavy industries. Yes, and on the two sector model, which requires that heavy capital investment. Of course, that is Mahalanobis model, which working on two sector model. That two sector model, so one is that K and another one is C, which producing, that one is capital goods and another one is consumer goods. K sector produces capital goods and then C sector produces consumer goods. And he tells about the proportion of total investment which utilized for that capital goods and consumer goods. Yes, how can we write that proportions of investment on consumer goods and capital goods? Yes, that proportions lambda k plus lambda c equals I. I means investment, the proportions of capital and the proportions of consumer goods. So this will be the model of Mahalanobis. Yes, which can create the highest employment opportunities. Which can create the highest employment opportunities by huge investment. That big industries or that large scale industries which require highest funds and which brings the highest income, and of course it is contributing to GDP. And of course it is not only about that employment opportunities, and also it is taking into account of that import substituting items. So these are all different concept tells about Nehru Mahalanobis model. And moving forward, the last part of this chapter is that achievements of economic planning. What we have achieved after adopting the plan. Yes, it is started since 1951 till to 2014, what we have achieved by sector-wise development. Yes, of course, that is achievement in economic growth. This is the major objectives of economic plannings. Economic growth, which means the growth rate was improving by first 5-year plan to next 5-year plan. And of course, the creations of infrastructures. After fourth 5-year plan, focusing on improving the infrastructure development, yes, of course, just we are trying to settle in good education system and high facilitated hospitals, and with a good infrastructure development in road, transport and communication departments. Yes, that so many villages now it is possible to connect with the roads. And next one, development of educations. Yes, by infrastructure development, now we have achieved 74% of literacy rate. Yes, and next one, the development of science and technology, expansions of foreign trade, yes, producing the import substitutes, quite increasing the exporting items. We have achieved the first place in that exporting the engineering items and textile products. So these are all which contributed by implementations of 5-year planning. Yes, of course, its strategy of 5-year plan, that sector-wise development, and we have tried to achieve that good growth rate. Yes, though we are developing because of that failure of economic plannings. Yes, how we got to achieve the real goal of planning. Yes, we have a big stone, that big obstacles in front of our planning path. So that is major poverty and income inequalities. Yes, it is not possible to escape from the poverty problem, because of that poverty can create the poverty. Because of the poverty, only the causes for poverty, and it is not easy to escape from them. That improper implementations of programs which belongs to that poverty eradications, and the negligency by the government, people has ignored about that poverty programs, which made that failure of economic plannings. And next one, problems of unemployment persist. Till the date also we have the problems of unemployment situations. Government introduced a lot of employment generation program, but we are not able to get that opportunities because of lack of skills, or just ignoring the government facilities, or only very few people they are able to grab that opportunities. And next one, that is curtail corruptions and black money. So this is the real problems which could failure of economic plannings. Yes, dear students, we have discussed about the economic policies of India and planning and mixed economy, and also we have discussed different models by that industrializations and then agriculture system by Gandhian model, and also just we have discussed about Mahalanobis and Nehru model, and what are the real achievements of planning and what are the failures of achievements. Yes, dear students, I hope you have understand this concept. This is the time to say thank you all for joining me in this session, and keep watching, read well. Thank you.